Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I'm your host, Ty Spiker Christensen. Um, what's the song? Losing My Religion. Okay, we've got Jordan Christensen on the podcast.
Hello.
That's not a quote from this movie.
I know.
Can you not recall a single quote, Jordan?
I'm really happy Colton's here today.
You should just take off all your clothes, Jordan, and weep in the corner, and then that'd be a quote from this movie. Naked.
Ty's actually anti-men showing emotion.
Dude, yes. You need to be stoic. Stop being such a crybaby. Bleeding hearts, my goodness. All right,
Oh,
and
did
then
you
we've
read his
got
review on Letterboxd finally, Cameron?
Yeah.
he'll check it out
Yes.
after the podcast. I'll share it here live. Okay, we got Cameron Mickle on the podcast.
He's doing some weird slow motion ninja moves.
Tai Chi, baby. That's right. And we've got Colton Reed back on the podcast. Colton.
And there's this feeling that once you leave home, like you don't totally belong there anymore. I was bummed Cameron didn't try to do the accent.
No, I was thinking about the accents are honestly one of my favorite parts of the movie.
No,
Especially the Liverpool's
he's
accent
not
is
even
so funny.
Scottish. That's a fake accent for him.
But hers has got to be genuine, right?
I think so.
It's genuine.
Because
But he's
other
Irish, so his accent is totally different.
mm, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Let's talk about this movie, guys. We were reviewing an A24 film called Aftersun. It's directed by Charlotte Wells, written by Charlotte Wells, stars Paul Mescal, Frankie Corio, and Celia Rolson Hall, and a few other people. Guys, this movie came out in 2022, and the plot summary says Sophie reflects on the shared joy and private melancholy of a holiday she took with her father 20 years earlier. Memories reveal and imagined fill the gaps between as she tries to reconcile the father she knew with the man she didn't. So let's get into it. What was it like watching this movie for the first time and rewatching this movie for the podcast? Cameron, start us off.
Watching it for the first time, I think was about-ish a year ago, or maybe a year and a half or two ago. Watched it with Colton and Drew, and I was just like
It
really,
was just you and me. Sorry.
oh really?
He's very
Oh.
special.
But I just remember like being really blown away by like just how well it's made and just kind of all of like kind of the breadcrumbs that leads you towards the end. And then rewatching it for the pod, I was surprised how it's even sadder on a second viewing, just because a lot of the things on the first viewing that I like maybe chuckled at, like such things as like, oh, I didn't see myself getting to 30. Or I can't imagine myself at 40. I didn't think I'd make it to 30. Like things like that. I was like, oh yeah.
Mm,
Like you think it's just one of those throwaway things that like people say, just kind of interaction to be kind of like the filler conversations. But you like on a rewatch, you're kind of like, oh, that's like a chink or a crack in the armor, and kind of him like his way of trying to cry out for help or like express himself. So yeah, I was just like, wow, this is even. I was also surprised at how slow it was. It reminded me at times of like Ghost Story because I was showing Allie and I was like, because like the first like 6 minutes, like nothing happens. I'm like, I swear it speeds up a little bit more.
Did
But
Allie like it? I'm curious what she thought.
I think she thought it was fine. She's not a big.
that's when you see something subtle happening and you're like, did you see that? Were you watching?
I
No, yeah.
blinked.
What did
That's a
Allie
very
did?
important detail
Did
once
Allie
you've
like?
watched this movie.
Did
Um,
Allie did? It's not a big deal, but did she like it?
I don't think it was like her favorite. I think she thought it was like fine, and she thought it was like a lot of the shots she kept complimenting, like, oh, I like how that looks. Um,
Are
but
you wedded to this girl, Cameron?
yeah, but she also is just anti anything that's pretty much not happy ending. So
What are you
Good
talking
stuff.
about? Dude, he goes to a rave. That's all I saw, dude. Going to a rave. That's a good time, dude.
uh,
So,
but yeah, I mean overall just as good, but even more devastating.
for sure. Colton, how about you? Let's hear from you. What was it like watching this?
Um, Hi Missy. Um, I don't have a very strong opinion. I thought it was fine. Um, just kidding. This is my favorite movie of all time. I have uh the poster on my bedroom wall. Uh,
Yo, for the viewers,
And
this is nuts.
Colton also has the credentials of divorced parents as well. So
Two Christmases, baby. Um,
So this movie, you can authentically speak to the experience that is this movie, right? Yeah,
yes.
lived
And then
experience.
I
Very
brought
good.
some props as well because I also have the special DVD release.
Oh wow. Check
And
it
if you
out.
think that's awesome, I actually have two copies of this, which are they a different size? What the heck? Oh no, they are the
Now,
same.
was
Okay.
that intentional, or did you forget that you had already owned it?
No, I
To lend it out, probably.
no, you can, Cameron, you can never tell Drew this. Um, I bought it for myself the day it came out, and then that year for Christmas, after I told him I had already bought it for myself, I think he forgot and then gave it to me for Christmas. So I'm happy to have two. I keep
There you
one
that's
go.
downstairs and
hilarious.
then I keep one in my room. So I can have
I'm sure you gave a great performance when opening the gift. Oh my God.
What? Oh my gosh, this will go great to my other one.
You
Yeah.
yeah.
you can do
What?
what I did, which is I bought like a ton of copies of S. Craig Zoller movies, and then I would hand them out to people at work just so everybody could
You
watch
just
them.
own them, and you're like, here,
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
watch.
Yeah, I should give it out. Ty, you're about to get this in the mail. Kidding. Oh, and then
With a
last,
bomb.
I also have my Aftersun t-shirt on. And
Holy crap. I'll be
on the
honest.
back
You
it
were
says
kind of blowing my mind. I thought at first
on the
this might
back
be
it
a
says I wish
bit,
we
but
could have
like
stayed for longer, which I think is a
unreal.
very great line. I will angle it down so you can
So
see.
you like what do After Sun fans call themselves? Are you like an After Sunny? Like dude, I'm a
After
Sunny bro. I'm
Sonians.
an After Sun bro. You know, like what is
Yeah, I don't know.
Ah.
you're an
I
After Sun fanboy
I
book club?
started a
I think the term
subreddit.
is Aftersonian.
Yeah, I started a subreddit, but it's so far it's just me and a couple like porn accounts, bot porn accounts or whatever.
Send
Look,
bobs.
everybody, please stop sending nudes here. This is meant for movie discussion only.
Yeah.
Do I have to keep reporting these people?
No, but so I don't remember actually how I first heard about this movie, but before it came out, it was I had seen the trailer for it and I was like, I don't know what it was, but something I watched in the trailer like I was like, oh man, I really want to watch that movie. Like it's happened a couple other times with other
Colton's a
ones.
slut for an A24 film, especially if like anything visually good looking, he's a big fan.
Yeah, yeah. Cameron once called me, and I don't know if he remembers this, but I sometimes lay awake thinking about it. He once called me the king of style over substance, which is true, 100%.
That's because he's a big fan of like Wes Anderson and stuff like that. Or no, he's
Yeah,
not a. No, you are. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
just won, just Grand Budapest Hotel. That's the only.
Okay, yeah.
But
Um,
great example of
yeah,
it.
yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I love A24, except I, they haven't, I've just been disappointed over and over again recently with them. Like We Live in Time, I did not really love. I'm sorry.
Was that
Um,
the Robert Zemeckis one or not?
No, that's Andrew Garfield.
Oh,
hmm.
the where he gets loses memory or whatever.
Mhm.
No, she has cancer.
Oh yeah, yes, the cancer, not the memory, right?
Oh wait, yeah. Am I thinking
It's
of The Vow? But I thought that
no,
was the
yeah,
premise.
that's
She
the
has
vow.
cancer.
No,
Oh,
we live in a time is she gets cancer and her dad had
but she
cancer.
hits him with his car though, right? That's like a thing in
Yes,
the
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
that's how they
How
meet.
they
That's
meet.
got it. Okay. I was gonna say I was like I know that was part of the movie, but
Yeah.
no amnesia. Sorry. Sorry. Keep going.
No, 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 you're good. So anyway, so I was really excited to watch it, and then nobody would watch it with me when it came out. Literally nobody. And this was, I feel very comfortable now to go to the theater by myself. I love doing that. But back then I was like, everybody in the theater is going to think I'm some loser. To be honest, if you're walking into an A24 movie alone, that's probably 90% of the people there. It's like virgin heaven. Um, but also specifically After Sun, I'd be walking alone into an empty theater. This movie, I don't think performed well at the box office.
But to
Um,
believe it or not, it's like that's how you're supposed to view this movie in an empty
yeah.
theater.
Uh,
Seriously.
Gives a more
um,
authentic and surreal experience, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I've watched this movie like dozens of times. Um, I don't have maybe like 2 dozen times. I watched it.
Wow.
I have watched it a lot of times. I don't always log it on Letterboxd because I don't want to be like I've watched this movie 36 times or
You
anything
don't
like
want it
that.
to be a cry for help like Justin watching About Time 8 times in like 2 months.
Literally. Oh, poor Missy. But no, I love this movie a lot. Like just my last thing to if you haven't been completely sold on the idea of me enjoying this movie. I watched it last night um or 2 nights ago, yeah, in preparation for the pod. And then today I was thinking, or earlier today because I didn't work today, I was like, I really want to be refreshed on this. I don't think I've watched it recently enough for the pod. So I watched it again earlier today. Um it's yeah, anyways, I can get into it more later if you want, but this movie just speaks to a very core part of my soul, I guess. I don't know how to sound less uh fancy boy when I say that, but I'll be fancy boy.
Ha!
I love this.
Gary.
Yeah, I love this movie a lot. Um anyways. Oh
All
wait.
right, can't wait to get into your favorite stuff. But Jordan, how about you? What was it like watching this movie for the first time and rewatching it for the pod?
Uh,
And I'm not offended if people don't like it. Don't worry.
I know. I'm very excited to like just hear Colton's thoughts. Like that's basically why I'm on because I just want to hear Colton talk about it, and I just love hanging out with Colton. But yeah, it's I don't. It's I don't know. You could read my letterbox review. Sorry.
That's
I
the
don't
whole
think Jordan
point of the
understands the
podcast, Jordan. Oh
podcast. A
my
lot of
gosh.
the listeners don't have Letterbox, Jordan. People probably don't even know what that is. Why don't you
Jordan, you can use your
elaborate?
words, silly.
Yeah, why do we
No,
have you on the podcast if I could just read your letterbox?
Seriously.
I came to hang out with you guys. That's why.
Oh
All
my
right,
gosh.
he's here for the
Okay,
hangout.
Jordan said on his letterbox, growing up with divorced parents, my favorite memories are these types of visits with my dad over the summer. We'd spend the whole day at the theater. It did a perfect job of capturing an all too familiar moment in life.
There you go.
Wow, and that must give that's probably a 4-star rating right there, right, Jordan?
Uh,
It's
I give
actually
it.
higher than I was expecting. It's 3, but
I
he
gave
probably
it
would
three,
give it
and
lower.
then Colton said I was missing a few stars in his comment.
It's like, oh, you slide your finger all the way to the right. You gotta, you, you trailed off there.
Yeah, he said, haha, no way your finger slipped and hit 3 stars instead of 5.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can get right into my two favorite. I was
Whoa,
about
slow
to say,
down, slow down. No,
okay.
I'm gonna say,
See, I'm ready to
so
talk about that. Yeah.
yeah, so I watched this movie for the first time, and I have not yet rewatched it, and part of me wonders if I will. This is a really good one-time watch movie. Like I can say that with confidence. I think a lot of people would actually enjoy it from first viewing. But like Colton said, I think it would be interesting to watch this movie again because sometimes when I have a strong reaction or I don't have a strong reaction with the movie, I wonder why that is. Did I not resonate or did I catch on too early or did I feel like the movie didn't surprise me at all? But I still watched it and I was still interested in what was going to happen because one thing I thought was interesting was um, Cameron mentioned slow moving. I actually thought my movie had paused in two different scenes that linger. I think there's a scene where the father's laying in bed, and I was like, did my movie freeze? Because it just lingers on him just laying there. And I kept thinking, like, is he getting up? Is he breathing? Is his breathing abnormal? Like, I just like staring at it, and then
That
like nothing happened. And it just cut to the
that's
next
like
scene. I was like,
the end of Drive when he's sitting there
it,
and he's not moving or blinking. I'm like, oh crap, my computer froze.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm glitching out. And I'm like, no, I
Uh,
mean, it was a very long, lingering shot. And there were other ones where I was like, I understood, like when he goes out to the ocean. I guess we can get into some spoilers. We will in just a minute. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know if I want to rewatch this movie. So part of me is like the rewatch factor. That's probably weighs heavily on my mind because I think there's a lot of good movies. So when I leave a star rating, sometimes it's just to remind me to not rewatch this movie. I don't want you to think that I didn't enjoy it. In fact, I think the discussion, and I was more looking forward to the discussion of this movie than after having watched the movie itself because I was like, ooh, there's a lot of things I'd like to unpack. So I wanted to get into
It's
Colton. I
right.
want
You're not
uh,
a glutton for sad movies, and it shows.
yeah, no, and that being said, I like some sad movies. Like I'm trying to
You
think of
said
other movies
Manchester
now.
by the Sea was like the most depressing thing you ever saw, and you're like, what was the purpose of this movie?
What was the
You do
purpose?
not like sad movies. The only sad movie I've
I
ever
do
seen you
like
like
sad
is
movies
Iron
though.
Claw.
I like sad and stressful movies. I'm just
No,
thinking.
you like depraved sad movies.
Oh my gosh. Like what? What are you
Yeah,
talking
I
Like
would
about?
love to
long
hear an
legs and stuff
example
like
about
that.
this.
Long legs. But that movie's not necessarily sad. I mean, I guess there's sad parts in it. But anyway, we're
Not
derailing.
sad.
I want to I want to get
Her
into
childhood? Are you kidding me? That is the saddest childhood I've ever heard
Oh
of.
no, dude. Pretty much
The
the
monster
same old,
living in
same
your
old.
basement? Are you kidding me?
Not too different from my own. All right, Colton. I want to give you the floor for a minute. This is your favorite movie. Hit me with like two, and you can keep going if you think of others, or save some for the rest of us. And then if there's more stuff, I'll have you go. But I'd love to hear your two favorite things about this movie.
I was uh originally going to write stuff down just so that I didn't talk about everything.
Mm.
Um,
And
but
heavy
I'll just
spoilers
kind
from
of
here on out. I want us to get into
yeah,
spoilers.
I'll just kind of
Yeah.
say two things, and this might not be my two most favorite things about it, but um, just the two things that come to my mind. One thing that I have loved about this movie every single time I've watched it, um, it really feels like a memory. I think it's sort of a non-linear structure. I don't know if you noticed, but there's certain scenes after he cuts his cast off where he is still wearing the clothes from the day that he does have the cast or before he takes the cast off. Um, and stuff like that. It's not completely chronologically uh that would was the correct word, like not completely chronologically in line. And I really love that. In addition to, sorry, I'm like coming off too intense. I need to change my background. Uh,
I mean, yeah, you've got Paul Mescal.
yeah, that's one of my favorite shots in the movie. Uh,
mm, that's neat.
but yeah, so that paired with the non-chronological uh that yeah, it's out of time. It feels very out of time, and then that with there's not really a plot to this movie. It's not a very narrative structure. Like I think the most narrative part that you get in it is when she meets Sophie meets the Michael, the boy, and then later sees him again, and then sees him a third time, and they smooch. Um, but outside of that, the only thing I can think of that like
And
points
that
to
was when she knew she did not like boys.
yeah, uh-huh. Um, but no, I think that, and then the little hints about Callum's mental health mixed so those two things, the non-linear structure, the chronology of the movie, and then the color of it really feels to me like a memory. And I have memories of vacations uh that feel that same way. And that's like one of my most favorite, like it's not I don't know how to describe that feeling. It's like not nostalgia. It's not like I don't know how to describe
Do
it.
you get
It's
deja vu at all? I'm
all
curious.
the
Like,
time. Like
yeah.
all the time. But I just love that feeling so, so, so much. And this, so yeah, that there's just some aspect about it. This movie, like really like it just goes straight into my core in some way. So first, that's one thing. It really feels like a memory. And two, I really, really love how I feel like I pick up on something different every time I watch it.
Mm,
Like kind of like what Cameron was saying, like, oh, on a rewatch, you like, the things that you would normally chuckle at, like, oh, I didn't see myself making it to 30, or
mm,
him almost getting hit by that bus, or it's like, oh, like he's walking into the ocean with his clothes on, or oh, they're throwing rolls so that they don't have to pay for dinner, right? Like, oh, that's so silly. He's just a quirky dad. You're like, oh, wait, maybe there's something else going on. I love that because it's very much, show don't tell, but also I love that because I feel like it's very true to life. Like people that I don't know, like you see like, oh, that's kind of funny. This person's kind of quirky, and then you realize like, oh my gosh, like there's like something going on with that person or whatever. And so I think in some ways it's a I sometimes have like a more hopeful takeaway from the movie. I did yesterday or 2 days ago, and yeah, maybe I did watch it. Anyways, a little because it's an invitation to like there's a leader in my church named Henry B. Eyring who said treat people as if like they're in serious danger, serious trouble, or they need serious help or something like that. And half the time you'll be right. And so I really love that. Like, like just we might not see into the heart of people, but we can have an opportunity to impact them, I guess. Anyways, I just yeah, I'm yeah, this movie captures part of my essence in some way. I don't know. I can't think of a better way
That's
to say
cool.
it.
No,
I'm
and you know what's cool about that, Colton? Like, there's no need to justify it. When a movie resonates with someone, it's like, dude, I am vibing with this movie, and who's to
Mhm.
take that away from you, man? It's awesome. Jordan, how about you? Let's hear two of your favorite things before you just take a pee all over this party, man.
No, 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 no. Uh, no, it like what was already mentioned, it is a very well made film. Uh, it's just it is interesting that like what you said, like because it resonated with you, like I also like it was reliving a memory,
Jordan hates reliving his past.
but like I'm like I lived that.
Running from your
I
demons, Jordan.
when I want to connect to a character, and if it's a character and their dad, and I almost called it a conjugal visit. What's it called when you visit a parent that's divorced? That's not a conjugal visit.
Visiting your dad.
Just visiting your dad. The
I mean, custody. Yeah, I mean, you're
Like
talking
a
about like
custody weekend or
joint
something.
custody. Yeah.
Yeah, just like because we'd see him like I don't know, maybe twice a year, usually just once, right, Ty? I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways,
usually once a year.
when we
Jordan's
visit
blocked it all out.
and so no, when we go see him, it was literally like watching this, I was like, oh, I'm just reliving literally what I did with my dad. And I like a movie like Ad Astra where it's like a very conflicted relationship with a father. When he finally meets him, he's like disappointed at him. And I'm just like, oh man, I just connect with this character so much. But while other stuff is going on, like that's, it's like a space odyssey. But
Yeah,
so
you want to talk
this,
about slow? My goodness.
but that's the thing is like, and I like what Ty said, like you can connect with it. And if it resonates with you, that's awesome. Like,
Well,
um,
Jordan, I'm asking for your two favorite things, not Colton's favorite things. Thanks for
but
recapping.
I'm just saying, like on the juxtaposition, on the opposite hand, I just felt like a little kind of the like I felt the same thing, but I didn't like I don't know why I couldn't just enjoy that. I think I need like some other
You need
element.
therapy.
Therapy. Yeah, I
Okay.
was about to say. I'm like,
Thanks,
Jordan's about to say,
thanks
I
for
have
clearing
daddy
that up,
issues.
Jordan, for
Um,
viewers.
yeah, I
Cameron, how about you, dude? Hit
no no
us
no
up.
wait.
Oh, oh,
I just wanted to say that I
I
and
don't need
now I'm
therapy.
yeah.
Jordan's two favorite things is I did not enjoy this and
No.
brought back bad
Let's
memories.
hear it.
I'm forgetting now because you guys made me forget. I'll come back. Just
All
somebody
right.
let's go.
You think of anything? Cameron, how about you? Two of your favorite things.
I mean, I think the first thing that's like the most obvious is just I think the cinematography is amazing. And even Allie commented on it and she didn't like super enjoy it, but like the shot she said of like the ocean where you couldn't see the beach and you couldn't see like the sky was just like she was like I've never seen a shot like this. It's just really interesting that it's kind of like
Hmm.
feeling like it's like all encapsulating like the ocean is like everything. Um and I mean, there was just so many times like with the handhold and um there's just like so many shots that I'm like, this is crazy that you can make like a family vacation look like these people are in the Maldives and it's like just some ghetto. Like you can tell it's not a nice resort or whatever. And he's like apologizing to his daughter and like, oh, I'm sorry, I heard this was actually a good place and like I didn't know it was gonna be under construction. But and Jess Jordan.
I just remembered my one thing. So I just sorry. I you know what this made me think of is that scene from Good Burger when he's like when he's talking about his summer plans and he's like I want to lay outside the pool and he's like and order some
Order some
Chinese
Chinese food.
food and then
Some ladies.
and that's literally what this movie felt like is like if the movie was an alternative movie, that's what it would have been is him
This is the
just
alter ego to Good Burgers.
yeah, just him if he didn't crash into Sinbad.
I
This is
thought
what
some of
that
my
I hate to
criticisms
put a black
would
brother in
really
jail.
hurt Colton, but if Colton's not hurt by a comparison of a very beautiful
No,
art house
they're
film to Good
spiritual. They're
Burger.
spiritual siblings. I totally.
Colton,
This
you
is
don't need to justify Jordan
this
or
is that
protect
sliding
him.
doors moment though when he crashed into Sinbad. If he had just missed Sinbad, this movie is what it would have been.
That is so funny.
All right, sorry, that's
He
all I
would have
was.
become white.
Yeah. And lived in Europe.
He would have gone to Europe on a vacation.
And had a daughter.
That's right.
And then my second favorite thing is I just think I actually disagree with what you're saying, Ty, like
Mm,
about that this is a one-time watch.
yeah.
Um, because I think on like a rewatch that a lot of what I thought was kind of nothingness, I
Hmm.
think is given more meaning.
Sure.
Just because like I didn't really understand the whole like flashing, like blaring scenes and stuff like that, until on the rewatch. And I think especially like the music and things like that give more meaning to kind of like his actions because I feel like it's the daughter trying to figure out and find out what were the signs maybe that she missed and he was so lost and she's trying to find him in the
Hmm.
crowd, and so it's like her even trying to go back through her memories is trying to find him, like,
Sure.
and be like where, like, what was I not seeing, like what were the signs that were I wasn't seeing. um just because like a lot of the signs, like if you don't know, because for example, if in the flash forward we see her dad visiting and he's like 60 and single or whatever, like we're just gonna assume, oh, maybe he's just like bad with money because like, but like when you go in with that but like bias information seeking that you're looking for the signs of that, it's a lot easier to find those reasons. And that's why I think it's interesting that I feel that she's trying to go back to find all the reasons maybe that she missed. Like for example, buying, like spending 800 euros on a rug. I'm like, that's an insane amount of money, like to purchase for a rug. But then it's like, if it's the last purchase he's ever gonna make, and because it's something that like is important to him, and like he likes, like why not, you know? And so it's things like that that I'm like, oh wow, it actually
Because it
has,
tells a story, Cameron.
yeah, and it has like deeper layers to it on multiple viewings. And so I just think that is what is really cool, is like the attention to detail of um and also like it's interesting, like the scene with the cast kind of reminded me a little bit of um Joker with the boots, and just like that the struggle, because I just feel like it was a outward representation of his like inner struggle of like, because like everyone's had that experience with something that's like so simple but like it's frustrating because like you can't get it off, or you can't like do something that you're like, oh, I'm just trying to screw this in, or I'm trying to like screw in this like bolt, or I'm trying to like take this cast off, or like I'm trying to like build this thing for my house, that it just like it starts to like almost become like more than that. And so that's what I just think is so cool about this film, is like with the cinematography, and there's multiple shots where it's like there's the wall separating them, and like he when he's trying to cut off the cast, um and also you just start to see that kind of like he's trying his best, but there's like a lot of lapses where you're like, that's not ideal for like you to be parenting a child, like when his child's locked out of the room for the entire night. It's like you're not in a good space, man. Like if you're like asleep naked on the bed and your child is locked out of her bedroom like until like 3 a.m. So it's things like that that like when they're all lined up and you have that in your mind, I feel like a lot of those things are given meaning.
So I like what you said, Cameron, and it's funny because yeah, I agree with your assessment and disagree with me. I'm like, yeah, maybe I probably misspoke. What I find surprising is I feel like I caught everything.
Mm.
Now, maybe that's arrogant because I'm sure there's 100 details that I would watch and be like, oh, that's interesting. Because even me saying like it lingered, it was just a moment where I was like, it made me think of like the movie Roma, where you watch a maid clean like a patio for like 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. Like literally in the opening, and you're like, okay, I get
But
it.
is
Like
it a
it's
ghost
setting the
story with the
tone.
9 minute pie
And
eating scene?
what's that?
I said, but is it a ghost story with the 9 minute pie eating scene?
Well, yeah, she's cleaning the floors for how long, Ty, at the beginning?
Yeah, Roma, it was a long scene. So
That's
anyway,
when I stopped watching it.
but I'll say my two favorite things. So one of my favorite things was the use of you mentioned cinematography, which I thought was nice, but And you mentioned the grain cult, and that made it feel very dreamlike or like a memory. I liked that. But it's not just using sepia tone where it's like cheery. It's just, it feels like home video nostalgia, but yeah, not exactly nostalgia. It's just like this feels very much like a recorded memory, which I
You
thought
know
was
who else
interesting.
does that? Darren Aronofsky in The Whale. I'm young.
Yeah, but that movie felt like a freaking waste of time. Okay,
It's so good.
so what I loved about it was the blocking and the use of reflection. So one of my favorite things in this movie was there's a scene that's very pivotal to the daughter kind of piecing together things because at the beginning she has her camcorder and she's recording something and she's like, "Well, here I am at this resort and Dad, what do you want to be when you see yourself or like what did you want to be when you were younger?" And I don't think we ever get his answer and he talks to his daughter after the fact. He tells her to turn off the camera and he doesn't want it to be recorded. And that's heartbreaking too, because at the beginning of the movie, you're like, okay, like, turn it off. It's time to, or, whatever. Like as a parent, you'll tell your kids to stop, knock it off, whatever, all the time. And that seems innocuous, but then you realize as you piece together what happened and the context surrounding this particular event in this home video, you're like, yeah, after the camera was rolling, before it something into the surface is very sinister and like I said spoilers ahead but so this I don't think there's any room for dispute that this father obviously commits suicide and as far as how it's done that's not even explicitly said. Now Colton mentioned that it jumps around. I've heard two thoughts. One, I didn't posit myself but because it's nonlinear we do see him go into the ocean for an inordinate amount of time and he doesn't return. And then we also see him write a letter, a postcard. So while he's there on this vacation, and he does write a letter to his daughter from the postcard of the location they're at. And so part of me thinks that it's possible that he even did this while he was on vacation. That being said, like we
Well,
do
and I
see
think it's
him
possible
drop
that
her
he
off at
even
the airport, but it's very clear that he leaves the airport not in the airport. He's going to the rave again in a very strange hallway. At the end of the hallway, there's a door and it leads to the rave again. But what were we saying, Cameron? Sorry.
well, what were you saying about Oh
So
yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he even sent like maybe the film to her because I think that's also maybe why he was filming so much was that so that she could have like something tangible of a last experience that like of a positive experience with her father, especially being that young.
sure.
Like if like your dad passes away when you're what she says she's like 10 or 11.
Remember me. Sorry.
Like I feel like it'd be hard to be like it's hard to tangibly remember what my dad was like.
Yeah.
So I feel like this gives her something physical that like no matter
I
in
want
and
it to be
out.
said on the podcast. I do home videos for my family, but I am not suicidal. So just want that being said. But yeah, so the use of reflections, there's so many great scenes where she doesn't the director, Charlotte Wells, I think she did a really good job at staging and blocking the scene. You see the daughter with the camcorder in the mirror. And again, this is such a great way where she's having to piece together part of an image, right? To try to create a whole image of her father that she's kind of reconciling years later. There's so many interesting things that I caught on the first viewing, and I'm kind of proud of myself because, like I said, usually I don't think of myself as catching all the things. So, well, one, mention the cast. His arm is broken. This is a broken man, right? Good motif. Very easy to show him with a broken wrist, broken man. Good motif. And then, of course, struggling to get the cast off again, he can't shake this feeling that he has, this depression. I'm assuming that's what it is. We see him crying alone to himself a few times. He can't seem to hold down a job. And
I also wouldn't be surprised if maybe he was cutting his wrist. I don't know, like I don't know if we ever see his wrist after
mm,
taking off the cast, but I was thinking maybe
interesting.
he was trying to take his own life and then he hurt himself, like maybe trying to hang himself and then he slipped and fell and broke his arm. Um,
Mm,
just because
interesting.
like it's never ever mentioned how he broke it. And so, and I'm like,
Interesting.
and I'm assuming he hadn't seen his daughter in a long time, but maybe he had
Mhm.
told her over the phone. But just the fact that there was never an explanation, it kind
Yeah.
of made me feel like maybe this is an
And
adult
and
internal.
I think that's actually very likely that it's not the first attempt because let's just assume that it didn't linearly jump to where he drowned himself into the ocean. But that did happen and he did attempt to take his life and then came back and then he apologizes to his daughter so profusely about the night that she was locked out, they're bathing
Yeah.
themselves in mud and I always look for motifs like that with water and baptism. There's a few scenes like that, and it's like moments of clarity, or your character is like born again, and you almost feel like maybe he's gonna beat this. But then, like I said, there's just moments of dread where the music gets almost very it feels like ambient, but it just feels very like very stressful music. I don't know how to describe
It's
it. It
like
just feels
unsettling.
yeah, it's very unsettling and but not like in a horror thriller movie. And that's why I kept
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, tragedy's gonna strike, but the movie doesn't. And but it's the dread of the having that really worked for me. So, but yeah, the use of the blocking. So like I said, it's pretty remarkable. They're filming she like I don't even know how to describe this layout. If you don't know the scene I'm talking about, but it happens twice in the movie, which I'm grateful because she's in the mirror in the corner of the screen filming her father on the camcorder and it's being played on a VCR TV and he's out on the balcony. And then he comes back in, tells her to turn off. She turns it off. But what's in the screen is the reflection of her father. So I thought that was really cool because even though she literally mentions, like, oh, well, if they can't record it, I'm going to record it in my mind camera or whatever, you know? And then it's still on the screen of the TV, which I think is kind of cool because she's pulling this memory out, right, from so I just thought that was really cool. It was a very thoughtful shot and a very well done scene that did a lot of storytelling with blocking and staging and lighting. I just thought that was really interesting. So like that whole scene is probably one of my favorites. And then like my second one, I was the whole thing about the singing. So I mentioned and actually, Cameron, that was a really good point with the running. They dine and dashed. I didn't think about that. They ate the meal, and then all the people come out and start singing. And F the Macarena, man. I mean, that song's so annoying, and the dance is annoying. Sorry, that's maybe an unpopular opinion, but and so when they throw, what was it, rolls or the salt and pepper shakers, and then
Yeah,
they
the
dart
rolls.
off, that was kind of a sweet moment. And you're like, oh, it's funny because, like fathers are kind of irreverent with their daughters and, or, and their kids and stuff, and that's fine. And then you're like, oh, yeah, they dined and dashed. And like, again, this is playing to that motif where he can't afford to keep down a job and they can't. And that's why several times I was like, oh, it's weird that he can afford a vacation or like a resort. How many days? I'm like, oh, he doesn't have a job to get back to. And then you think about where they're at. He's like, oh, it's like a million something. And then it's very cheap. So it's like they're in a very cheaper place where he could afford to do this vacation. So it's just very interesting. There's so many interesting things that play to the story. And one of the saddest moments is she signs him up for karaoke. And that night, he's just not feeling it. He's like, and she's like, we always do this. It's like a tradition. Like we go sing. So she goes up and sings REM, Losing My Religion, which is a very interesting and sad song. But and I'm like, this is your tradition? Like, not singing something. Oh, Colton, you have something? Yeah.
Yeah, I really specifically love that use of that song.
Yeah.
One, I don't know if you can see this record right here. That's an REM record. Um, I love REM, but so I like that. But also like losing my religion is about, it's a love song, but it's about this person that has become the object of worship, right? And being able to like or not being able to, being unable to see them as a person, they're this thing you idolize. And this entire movie is Sophie losing her religion the way that she idolized her dad,
Mm,
growing up. And she's, like you were saying, I love what you said about that specific shot with on uh, talking about the birthday.
mm,
I love that so much because that is like a moment where she has her camcorder and she's watching it as an adult, now the same age that her dad was when he
right.
presumably killed himself, and she's looking back and like, oh, I remember that. That was so funny. And then the footage stops and she has a second, where we are invited to think about like, oh, she has a second to think, well, I remember what happened after that, and then oh my gosh, like he was crying out for help. He was also kind of not a great uh father, he didn't really have his stuff together, but anyways, so I just really love that song. I think that's kind of the entire idea of this movie.
Yeah, and again, great foreshadowing. Again, she has to go up and sing alone. He's not there to sing it with her. And again, that's why I joke, like it's such a sad song to sing. We always do this. You're like, dude, this guy is just like a helpless pitiful guy. I'm sorry. I love him to death, and I love you, Colton, but I'm like, dude, this is just so pitiful. But again, crippling depression, no laughing matter. But anyway, so I really enjoyed that. For example, after she sits down and he's done, his first thought is like, well, we could get you music lessons or whatever. And she's like, are you saying that I'm not a good singer? It was just such a passive aggressive thing. And he goes, no, I'm just saying, like, I think you could get good at it if you practice and I pay for lessons. She's like, Dad, don't even pretend like, promise me that you'll buy me something when you know you can't afford it. And it's just that is such a gut punch for any man knows that as a provider, you try to do your best to provide for your family and to get, and again, thrust right back in his face because again, he insulted his daughter first. And kids are really great at pointing out weaknesses and flaws. They pretty innocently would throw that right back in your face. And it's like, oh, just heartbreaking. And then I don't know if this was intentional or not, but it made me laugh because at the end, you mentioned birthday, Colton. They go up to the top of the staircase and they're like, oh, on three, we're gonna sing. It's my dad's birthday. We're gonna sing him happy birthday. And it made me laugh because she's singing along with everybody, wishing him a happy birthday. And the Brits have the worst birthday song of all time. No, I'm kidding. He's a jolly good fellow, which is so ironic because he's crippling in depression,
He's
which
not.
goes to like the saddest scene of the movie, where he's just sitting in bed naked, weeping alone. And you're like, holy crap, this is so sad to watch. So pitiful. And but it made me laugh because I was like, it's tragic because she's singing happy birthday, the British version. He's a jolly good fellow, and so say all of us. Again, all these people, it's seeming like, oh, anyway, but she's singing, and it made me laugh because I was like, oh no, she's singing, which is reminding him that he couldn't afford her vocal lessons. She was singing so out of key that he
Her
was
shrill
reminded of the
voice.
failings of a father. Like all the things come crashing down. And again, it's happy birthday. No one freaking cares how you're singing. But I was like, I don't know if that is intentional, but put that on top of it for somebody that thinks and wallows so much. It's not hard to believe that that also plays a factor in all this. Anyway, so I was just like, is the daughter the villain? She insulted the dad, punched him where it hurts, and and her singing drove him to kill himself. Anyway, no. Um, but I like what you said, Colton, about one thing I wanted to ask you, Colton, and maybe you guys, you can enlighten me, but do you think that this is a hopeful movie, or do you think she's looking back on this to kind of understand who her father, and do you feel like she's now the same age, years older, married to a woman with a baby? I don't know whose baby it is, but she makes her wife go get the baby. I'm telling you, the daughter's the villain. Um, and then is it hopeful? Is she watching this just to understand and come to terms with? Because we all deal with grief in different ways. So I guess my question is like, is she now watching this thinking like, oh no, now I'm gonna have to deal with a life of this and this could be part of me? Or is she simply just watching it to kind of try to find understanding and meaning in life from not knowing who her father was and piecing together who he was? Because I remember being told like, oh, well, like the mistakes of your parents, like, do you tend to make those same mistakes? And I don't necessarily believe that at all. I think, everyone kind of has, nature versus nurture. But do you think any of that was hinted at in the movie? Because that's what I was trying to piece together. If she now has to reconcile, like, oh, I'm now gonna have this crippling depression, that's what awaits me, or am I reading too much into that and that's nowhere to be found in this movie? Does that make sense? Yeah.
100%. I am happy to share my thoughts.
Hmm.
It changes for me based on, uh, I guess, and that's also one thing that I really love about this movie. I will say, I can only stay on for just a little bit longer, so I might have to go at some point.
Okay.
Um,
Anytime you need
but
to dip out, you do it. But
yeah,
let's
no,
hear
no,
your
no,
thoughts. You just,
I am so happy
yeah.
to share my thoughts. I think another thing that I really love about this movie is my interpretation of it as to like whether or not it's hopeful or it's like just
Hmm.
so. Oops, can you still see me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you.
Whether or not it's hopeful or it's like super depressing.
Hmm.
I mean, it is depressing either way, but if I can feel that hopeful message, I think is depending on how I'm feeling when I'm watching this. Because I've watched this movie in the
Mm.
morning, I've watched this movie in the afternoon, I've watched this movie at night, I've watched this movie at 3 in the morning. I've watched this like I've at some point covered like the entire clock. But so yeah, that's another thing that I like about it. Is just maybe because it's very like centered. I don't know, like I just really relate to it a lot. So my interpretation of it changes based on what mood I'm in. But I would say
Mm.
overall, and most recently, I feel like it's actually very hopeful. It's very sad and it's very realistic. It's not going to be like uh I'm trying to think of another. I don't want to tear down any other movies or whatever, or I just can't think of one right now. But
Have you
uh,
seen Perfect Day? It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
oh no, I that's on my watch list. I want to watch that. Um,
It's not, I mean, the more you talk about it, I'm like, oh geez, there's not quite as many like little tiny details that if you like overanalyze it, you're like, oh, this is what it could have meant, or
hmm,
but it's just it's a very simple film, and
yeah,
it's like, yeah. Anyways,
yeah. I know I appreciate that, and I definitely want to watch that. But um, I think it's very hopeful. It's not going to sugarcoat it. It's not going to say, oh, like he discovered got a new job or something, and now he's not going to be depressed for the rest of his life. Like it's very realistic, but in that realism, there's a hope not only for him as a character, like he can find some sort of, I mean, we believe, like there's reconciliation to others and to ourselves in the next life. Um, but also like her looking back trying to now the same age that her father was when he killed himself, presumably. Like you were saying, Ty, she's like, oh, I'm surely she's grappling with oh, like am I gonna, this is a generational issue with which a lot of like mental health stuff is a hereditary thing for sure. But I see this is my interpretation of those like party rave scenes or whatever.
Mm.
Um, she's trying to, this is who I remember my dad as, but then there were also these like other things. Um, and eventually at the end, she's like, she lets him go. And she's able to, in my mind, get past that. My other thing that kind of informs that, and I'll show this picture right here. Um, this was written by Charlotte Wells. It's sort of semi-autobiographical. About Charlotte and her dad. Here's a picture of this is the characters in the movie, right? Frankie Corio,
Mm.
Paul Mescal. That's the director of the movie on The Last Vacation with her dad. So like, I mean, casting wise, excellent job.
Mm.
But so I think just based off of like the director's experience making this movie, being her,
This is also her debut, right?
is the
this is
director
her
a
directorial
lesbian as
debut.
well?
I don't know, actually. I
She
Okay.
should.
has a few other, she has four directing credits. I don't think this is her first, Cameron.
This is her directorial debut. I'm like 95% sure.
Oh, I guess it could be. I don't know what years they came out. I just see it said
Oh,
previous, but
so
I
maybe
don't
not.
know.
I could be wrong.
Because there was a 2015 called Tuesday, but it's a short. And then
The
Lapse
other
and Blue
three,
Christmas are both short. So this is the
all of
first
the
full
three are
length
short.
The
movie.
reason why I know that is it's on the poster. One of the quotes at the top it says an amazing feature debut. So
Yeah, full length. You're right. I didn't even realize these three other directing credits, they're all shorts. So this is a first full length.
yeah, I don't know where I knew that from, but I think it's just from like
Did
having.
her, so now I feel silly for not looking anything into Charlotte Wells. So her father, did he commit suicide?
I think so. I
Yeah.
remember reading about this when I first like became enamored with this movie, but
Mm-hmm.
if that is true, then I think this movie, like, we see adult Sophie looking back on all this footage and grappling with who her dad was, and ultimately, being able to like see him for who he really is and let go of like that childish idea that she had.
Mm-hmm.
Also, kind of what you said, actually, as a joke, like I was like, oh, I sort of think that's true. Like her being the villain in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes as children we love our parents and we feel like a responsibility in some way. Like I've definitely felt that sometimes with my parents, like, oh, I feel like I need to help them. I need to take care of them in some way. And in this instance, I totally see how she would feel a responsibility. Like I didn't know the signs or I didn't help
Yeah,
him from
like
killing
if
himself.
I
It's
like
like you were 11.
was this
You were 11.
obvious? Could I have prevented this? Like if I
Yeah.
just knew, or should I have known? Should I have intervened, or should I have reached out for help or notified someone, told someone, right? Yeah,
Yeah. So then
that's a lot.
when she eventually lets him go, I think that's letting go of that responsibility and being like, no, I actually, he was these horrible, horrible mental state, but he was also my dad, and so I can keep both things, I can hold two
Mm,
contrary ideas at the same time. Um, so I think that along with what I said earlier about like, the invitation to see people as having something, not like, oh, I need to worry about everybody as if they're in severe danger all the time. Sometimes I maybe do that a little bit, um, as camera, yeah. But I think it's really, I don't know. I think it's like, if we're always doing more for people than we think they need, sometimes it's going to be exactly what they need. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Cam
dude,
probably.
now I'm almost more certain that you mentioned the nonlinear thing. I'm almost certain that that is how he goes. But then like because him saying goodbye at the airport or whatever, it's like that's not that's like you said, her therapy session and letting him go because he walks out into the ocean at night and the rave again at night. That's basically how he had to go. But then there's the eerie sound when he first goes scuba diving. I thought he was going to be like a scuba diving accident, but he's about to get in the water. And again, the water is ultimately what takes him, right? If he does wander out into the ocean, at least it was an attempt on his life. So again, foreshadowing, very ominous. And you're like, dude, what is going on? And then she mentioned he lied about being credentialed to do the scuba diving. And you're almost like, this could have also been another instance where he's like, maybe it'll happen here. Like I think he was just open to the idea, and if he'd felt, that the moment presented itself, he was going to take it, which is just so tragic. But
See, but I also that's what I feel like it's kind of similar to what both you guys are saying, but I feel like it's sad, but also hopeful in kind of like the awareness way, where I think it's similar to there's this soccer ad that's essentially these two guys that is showing that they're going to the games. One guy's super quiet, the other dude keeps being like, oh, like, hey, how's everything going, like hopefully soccer, like home life is better than like our team's doing or whatever. And it's showing all of them like every time they score, the super talkative guy like jumps up and is like, yeah. And then it like cuts and then it shows that one of the guys who he gave the scarf to, the quieter guy, sits down and then the seat next to him is empty. And then just the message is like check in on those around you. The signs of like mental health issues or whatever are less obvious than people think. And essentially it's just saying that like oftentimes the people who are struggling the most are the best at hiding it.
mm,
Um, and it just makes me think a lot of Dale. I mean, he was a mental health counselor and like
yeah,
always the fun uncle, and at every single like family gathering was always like, I mean, and like the last time like I saw him, he gave me a $2 bill and was making jokes with me, and it's like, and so it's things like that that I think is really cool. That I think this is bringing that awareness that it's like there are just like things that we don't know that people are struggling with, and it is bringing that awareness that like, and that's the thing, it's hard because it's like, and that's why I like that Colton kind of brought up of like letting that go, because I think that's an important thing is like naturally when someone that we love and know takes their own life, there's that little bit of almost like guilt and responsibility that we want to feel of like, well, what could I have done to prevent it? And I
mm,
just think that's naive, not understanding that other person's like free will, that like they were the ones that made that decision. And that's what I just think is like this guy was like there's nothing that you could have done to save him. Like,
yeah,
and so that's the thing is I like there's like, and I think that's what's good because I think it takes the responsibility off. It's not like you're responsible for other people's mental health, but I think just being able to be there as best as you can for people and just being aware that people might be going through that, I think is kind of to me the overall message.
Thank you. I totally agree. 100%. And I don't know
I'm,
why, like, It means so much to me that you're saying that because I when I showed this movie to you, Cameron, I was like, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like it. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
I do have to go,
You're
but
good, brother.
thank you guys so much. I love you guys, and
Colton, thanks for coming on and thanks for
Yeah.
sharing this
That'd be
movie. I
cool.
mean,
of course,
it,
absolutely, I love you guys, and I wish I could wait. I wish
eh,
I could have stayed for longer. Okay, see
All
ya.
right, see ya.
Bye, Colton.
later, Colton. And
All right,
maybe
what?
after his contributions, we can all be after Sunnies, man.
Yeah.
After
All right.
Sunny.
Well, would you guys recommend?
Yeah, I do recommend this movie. I
I
mean,
would say I definitely like if you like sad movies at all or a A24 fan, I definitely think this is the one of the best A24 films.
hmm.
I do remember thinking at the end of the film, I'm like, oh, there's a lot more to this film, but I'm like, that means I have to rewatch it. I'm like, no. So,
Yeah,
so similar to that, to Ty, like I do believe, well, from both of you guys, I believe Cameron and Colton are right. It does get better on a rewatch, but that also means you have to rewatch it. So it's like depends on if you're.
and to me, it's honestly made me want to watch Moonlight because I've been like on and off about wanting to watch that just because I've heard such good things about it. But I don't know if it's just the water and like the mental health aspect of it, but they just kind of seem like a little bit of a similar vibe. Because also Waves, Jordan, the one that you recommended was like kind of a similar vibe, and I really love that one. Um,
But there's more going on. Like
okay, the second half of Waves is literally this movie. Nothing happens in the second half of Waves.
nothing. This is literally, that's why I said it's literally perfect days, except this one, there is so many little things throughout that, like, yes, like hearing you guys analyze it, I'm like, holy crap. But like, I didn't get that. And I was like, I don't want to have to think about, like, think hard. I just
I feel
wanted
like
to,
that's like every single movie
Turn my
ever.
brain
Like
off.
hate to think hard.
no, I like to just turn my brain off sometimes.
That's
And,
what I'm saying. You're like,
oh,
no.
I will say, like, I think I'll have to give it to Charlotte Wells. This movie does not come off as pretentious because I think it's a difficult subject matter to tackle. It feels like a deeply personal film, so I definitely want to give it kudos for that. Like I said, I just think that it's surprising how little for me the rewatchability seems like a thing, and I don't know how to reconcile that because I know in a few months or years I'm gonna watch this movie again with someone else and just see what they think because I think sharing this movie would be really interesting. But I also want to be careful about my recommendation because I feel like this is a very sad movie and I feel like you could recommend it to someone and they could get the wrong impression and take it with a grain of salt or whatever I'm saying here. Like, oh, don't be so dramatic. But I'm like, yeah, like if I was like, let's watch this movie together, and it's like, no, no, I'm fine. But I think this is a really beautiful movie about this instance. And Cameron, I appreciate you sharing because, yeah, there's part of me that's like very deeply personal to our family and everything else. So
For sure.
I appreciate you
Well, and
sharing.
I just think that's the thing too that I like, and especially watching this after being divorced, I think it's
Mm,
one of those things that it's hard, and that's what I like about is I think the sound design honestly portrays the message really well. Where I think like divorce is something that everyone's aware you experience, but it's just naturally one of those things that it's kind of like, okay, when are you going to be over it? Um, but like it's one of those feelings that it is kind of like a reoccurring, like it'll kind of get dredged back up just by daily life. And especially I can't imagine having a child and then having like essentially a constant reminder of your failed marriage. Um, and just the difficulties that will come with on your mental health. But yeah, I definitely recommend. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure, but it's definitely a fun watch.
and yet, it does a very good job at giving you information, and it has moments of unsettling thing, but it's a very I can't say tame, like the subject matter is not, but like thankfully they did a good job at handling the subject matter. I don't know what I'm saying. Just saying there's nothing explicit or graphic shown, so I don't know.
Yeah,
and
Um,
and, and in case, because at the beginning, Ty, you're like, I think I got it. It's this that just totally reminds me of It Comes at Night. You're like, my way is the only way.
you haven't
there's
you've
only one
shown me
My
interpretation.
one shred of
interpretation.
evidence
Anybody else's interpretation,
is a
wrong.
moron. No, and it's funny you say that, Jordan, because like I was like, no, I don't think there's any other way to interpret. I'm like, no, no. Um, I would love it. It's like, no, this movie's actually about like, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's about anything other than suicide and looking back on. But yeah, like I said, I and good on Charlotte Wells for a directorial debut. My goodness, like very thoughtful and very personal. So
Yeah.
write what you know, they said. So I wouldn't be shocked if that was her own experience. So um, all right, guys, we share movies that we've seen lately. Cameron, hit us up, man. What have you been watching lately?
I've been slacking on the movie front thanks to Allie because we've just been watching a bajillion Criminal Minds episodes, but we just finished season one. It's pretty fun. Um, I know Ty, I need to get on the True Detective, but
Oh,
and then
yes.
um, I also I
Oh,
I also showed Allie I See You. So good.
been
Yeah,
like,
you said, Cameron, when you wrote that, I thought you said AI's worst nightmare. And I was like, what the crap? But you said
no,
Al's
Al.
worst nightmare.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's clever.
Yeah, yeah, because what's called it's funny because the we actually had to wait what 6 or 8 months to watch this because the first time I ever mentioned it, I said, "Oh, we could watch this movie," and then she was like, "Well, give me kind of a brief description," and then I kind of explained it, and it was when we were just dating, and she goes, "Yeah, it sounds like a worst nightmare. I'll never watch that ever." And then because I showed her the trailer, and so then I explained the entire plot and the plot twist to her, and she was like, "That sounds amazing. Why did you explain it to me?" And she was like, "I was like, what the fuck?" She said, "You're never gonna watch it ever." And so then she's like, "Okay, well, we have to wait until I forgot majority of the plot, and then we can watch it." So it was really fun to like finally be able to watch it. And she was like starting to kind of remember things. She's like, "Oh wait, what?" And it's nice that we live together now. So she's like, "I feel a little bit less afraid of somebody living with us." And since our place is really small too, but yeah,
she sends you out to clear out the closet with a baseball bat in hand.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It really does just prey on that like the fear of the unknown is so freaky. And so just like the idea that there's somebody in your house, like it's so weird, but super fun. That movie holds up every single time.
Do you
Um
think it's as good? I feel like it's just you can't relive that first
that
experience.
first is like perfect. And then I think every viewing after that is like a 9 out of 10. But
That's
it's
pretty
hard
neat.
to beat that first viewing just because I literally remember watching it with buddies and I was like, watch out, and then it cuts and you're like, what the heck? And then at the end you're like, get him, get him.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy to
sounded like that meme of
Watch out,
Randy.
RKO.
Watch out,
yeah.
RKO.
No, but literally it's crazy how,
I'm
and that's why I
slithering
think
in.
the storytelling is so well done that like at the end of the first half you're screaming at the cop to watch his back, and then at the end of it you're like, kill him.
God,
But and then that plot twist that even more reminded me of Prisoners. To me, it's just literally
yeah,
like it's like
prisoners.
a B plus Prisoners.
Mm.
If Prisoners is like an A plus, it's like it's right on that cusp of like it just doesn't have like great it doesn't have amazing acting, doesn't have an amazing director, but it's still like really fun and a fun story. It's just like it's not like a masterpiece like but to me it's like the perfect group watch and recommendation because almost nobody's seen it and
Yeah,
it's super fun that it because it's like it it's got like hints of paranormal and then it's
gives
like
me a little bit of like almost like a modern day shoot. Why can't I think? Wait until dark.
yeah,
But
or
yeah,
kind of like a
different
Psycho
enough.
where it's like it's
Mhm.
just it's like really like fun. There's fun twists and turns, and you're like,
Yeah,
oh, okay. And it's also like decently short and it's like pretty quick. And I just think they do a really good job of like the different POVs. I think that tells the story. It kind of reminds me of Vantage Point of like learning all the different things as
Mm.
it's kind of being spliced together. You're like, oh my gosh. Just because like when you're seeing half the story from different like points of view, you're like, well, I don't really get like what's the big deal? And then it's like, oh, well, Connor threw that thing
yeah, I
on.
did. Watching
So
Star Wars, man. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Yeah.
the clove hitch killer, I felt like it was more like that.
Mm.
Because there was even a moment when, remember, he like,
No,
Freaks
definitely.
out.
I
Yeah,
think
no, 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 no. I'm not talking about the freak out. I'm talking about the moment where it cuts and then it goes back and then it plays it from a different angle
yeah.
or
No,
perspective.
yeah, I
yeah.
agree. But I think Clove Hitch unfortunately doesn't hold up as well on a
But I
rewatch.
rewatched ICU and I didn't think it held up like
Really?
almost at all. I kind of got bored.
But like the real question is who's scarier, the kid under the frog mask or Helen Hunt?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Ouch. You're so bad.
No, but who's more
three
distracting,
three
Sandra
masks
Bullock or
in
Helen
that
Hunt?
movie.
Sandra Bullock is more distracting because there's something off, man.
Yeah.
She's turning into
But
Michael Jackson. It's so sad.
and then
Sandra Bullock was beautiful.
I also showed Allie Django, which it's so funny. I was like complaining to her the other night that it's so hard to figure out what she likes because she really enjoyed Django, but she did not like Inglourious Basterds. I was like, they're the same movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
one is just Nazi skin, and then I'm like, the other is slave owner skin. I'm like, they're just like, I'm like, he makes the same movie, just a different
It's
skin.
very easy, Cameron. She's very sympathetic to the blight of slaves. She's not very sympathetic to the Jews.
Yeah, I guess not, but
Oh my God.
Just like you.
The,
Cameron watching Schindler's List.
oh my gosh, I love Schindler's List just because I
No, I
didn't
know, but you
cry
didn't
at Liam
cry,
Neeson's
which makes me
bar.
laugh. Jordan's like, you're gonna cry in this, and you're like, yeah, great movie. Didn't
No,
cry.
the best thing about that was when
So
Jordan we were
funny.
watching it as a family and Jordan thought he had it edited and then Jordan presses pause when the naked chick is getting sniped
Oh my
and
God.
he's like, oh.
no, it wasn't when she's getting sniped. It was the scene with
The Cellar with Ralph
no,
Fiennes.
no, it
No,
was the scene
it's the
when
scene
he's
where
cheating on his wife. I'm pretty positive it's the scene where
I'm
he's
like
cheating on his wife.
95% sure it's when they're in the field and he's shooting down the people,
Doesn't that happen
which
like
is
directly
also one of the
before
most
it? He's
disturbing
got a
scenes I've
naked
ever
girl in the
seen.
room and he goes out and shoots some people.
He does, but they're not naked.
I think
They
she
get
is,
they,
isn't
they
she?
get naked for the showers. You're getting the scenes all
Ew,
mixed up.
naked.
I can't remember,
I bet he looks really
but
weird.
anyways, so
Naked.
yeah, I was like complaining to her because I'm like, I don't
I
get
need
it.
my Holocaust movie to be rated PG.
No, but it was
Sorry. Just some reason that's making me laugh. It seems like
it
anti-Semitic. You're like, can you just sanitize the Holocaust? Like make it a little bit more
it just makes me so mad because I
accessible?
genuinely believe Christoph Waltz is like one of the five best actors of all time. I
Mm.
just don't think that he has the what do you call it, the catalog to back it up, which is so unfortunate. Just like I mean, because I don't think quantity wise he has amazing quality, but like outside of like Inglorious Bastards, um,
And
Django.
Django.
Django, and what's probably his third best.
I can't think of one.
See,
I mean,
that's
he's
He
he's
was
like
been
the lead in one movie as something
he's
about
he's
mental or mind or something like that. I can't remember what it was
in Zero
called.
Theorem.
the problem is
Yeah.
he's in like weird franchise. Like he was in the Green Hornet. He
Which is nuts to think
yeah,
about. Seth
and
Rogen was in the Green Hornet.
exactly.
Who
And then
was the Green
also
Hornet?
what's he's in the James
Horrible
Bond.
Bosses 2, the James Bond movie.
And so it's like
Oh,
he's
James Bond, the
so
biggest miss of all time, dude.
like he's so good and so talented. It bothers me that he doesn't because to me I feel like he's better, like a little bit better than Killian Murphy. But I'm like, he, Killian Murphy's catalog is just so much better than Christoph's. Like, and maybe that's just because like he hasn't worked with enough good directors. But that's the problem is gets all these great roles, like you would think, like the James Bond villain, and then it's just like terribly written, and it's like great, you know. But anyways, I
Yeah.
like his performance is so fun, um, and
And also, like, let's be real. I think before Inglorious, he was largely unknown. That was like his big
yeah,
breakout American film because
uh-huh.
he's
'Cause
Austrian, right? Yeah, so
he's like
kind of an unknown
five or
actor, and
four lingual. Like
he was in
he's
his
crazy
40s, right?
genius.
Yeah, kind of a late
Uh-huh.
to the game kind of thing. So maybe he suffers from that. Where had
Yeah.
we seen more of him before, it would have. Because what's so surprising is how much he commands a screen presence. You're like, oh, this is like some foreign actor that's been in a few movies, and you're like, he feels like he's Austrian's biggest superstar. Like he feels like the Brad Pitt of Austria. Like how much he commands his presence on screen. So I'm with you, Cameron. Like he's just so deliberate with the way he talks, and it's just such a curious character. Like both in Django and. But part of me is like, is that because Tarantino knew how to use him? Like, I have so many questions,
Well,
like,
Tarantino talks about how before finding Christoph, he
yeah,
believed the role was unplayable, and he was like,
yeah.
there's no one I could find to play this role."
But then I found someone so sinister and evil.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure Christoph Waltz finds that very flattering, though. That's funny.
yeah, but and then I on top of watching Criminal Minds, we just started watching Snatch, but Allie got sleepy last night, so we didn't finish it. So we just need to finish Snatch. She's actually enjoying it
Dags?
She's a
Yes.
big fan of Guy Ritchie because she really enjoyed The Gentleman and also Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
I think you enjoy those movies and you're forcing your poor wife to watch them.
No, she the one she enjoyed the most is actually Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which I don't think either of
Uh,
you guys have seen, right?
I haven't seen it yet. I want
All
to,
right, if you
because
like Man from Uncle,
I
it's
was,
literally Man from
I
Uncle.
that's what I've heard,
Jordan's
and I
gonna
do want to
hate
see
it.
it. Yeah. Did
Jordan's
you,
gonna hate it.
did,
Jordan's like, stupid action. I skipped over every scene. That's super cheesy. And even though it's based on a real, true story, Jordan's like, super cheesy action. I skipped over.
it's so good,
Um,
Jordan. You need to watch it. It's literally Mission
it's so
Impossible,
funny that
James Bond,
I need to see
directed by Guy
what?
Ritchie.
I
it's
already
so
saw
funny.
Man from Uncle.
It's so funny, like
I don't
that
think you
action.
finished it.
I
That's the
did.
thing.
I watched the whole thing, and well, no, I walked out of the theater. Then I finally watched it because I'm like, I guess I got to watch all Guy Ritchie's movies. And the scene with the electric chair, I was really hoping he'd die. Oh, I was so hoping. I was like, please.
Jordan,
Have you?
let's be clear. Jordan has not yet forgiven Henry
It has
Cavill.
nothing to do with that. Oh
It
my
does a
God.
little bit.
Not
That
Uh,
anymore, because I don't
bothered
care
me.
about Star Wars. Star Wars is dumb.
True,
have
but he and I told you he was ahead of the curve. He's
Oh
like,
my
dude, Star Wars is
gosh.
going down.
But Ty, what I've already explained this 100 times. What him complaining about a script on Star Wars is he's like, I'd have to see the script first. Please, you played Superman. Shut up.
Hey, Man of
Hey,
Steel was
dude, he
Like
decent.
wasn't famous at that
like
point.
Man of Steel was some like masterpiece script. Give me a break. Get out of here.
But then
You're like, oh, you hold Star Wars to a standard. You didn't did you bother reading Man of Steel? Crap.
Unless the Cohen brothers are writing it, get
No,
out of
Jordan, he read it
here.
and he goes,
Sorry.
then they have a fight at the IHOP and he goes, this is just cinematic masterpiece. He's like,
Then they punch each other for an hour straight. Like, please
and
stop
then I
talking.
scream after snapping Zod's
ah!
neck, and there's no hope in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the new
So
Superman
funny.
is. I mean, both are good, but the new Superman's better.
And then no, you know what he read in the script? He's like, "Oh, I take my shirt off. Yes, I got to show my body."
But then I've also been watching uh the animated Batman's series called
Cameron, I thought
the
you didn't have a
Batman the
lot of
Brave and the
shows that
Bold.
you've been watching. You've watched everything. You lied to me.
No, I just been watching Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Mm.
Dude, holy cow, I didn't know because I had never even really heard about this because this was I think it was on like a different channel growing up because I was more of a Cartoon Network kid. I think this was on it was like on the same one that Scooby Doo was on, and I only ever watched Scooby Doo through the DVDs. But because Batman Brave and the Bold actually does a crossover movie with Scooby Doo because I think they're on the same they're on Boomerang, I think.
Mm.
Which is like who watches Boomerang? Like it had like the Flintstones and other things like that. But anyways, I've been watching it. It's so fun because it's like a comedy it's like not quite as cheesy as like the Adam West Batman, but it's Batman who's a little self-aware. It's still like I'm pretty sure like a Y7 TV series, but it's really fun because it's essentially like a Justice League movie with Batman as the focal point. Because he'll always do like crossovers with other superheroes, and it's just like super exaggerated versions. It kind of reminds me, it's honestly Jordan like a PG version of Harley Quinn.
Hmm.
Um, like Harley Quinn season one, where it's just kind of like fun, like poking fun at like some of the over the topness of like DC and like the superheroes, which I just like. It's not like, oh, this is life changing, but like, especially as a background show, is really fun.
Mm.
Okay.
But I also need to watch the new season of Harley Quinn eventually. But it's getting the longer it goes on, the harder it is. But I'm so this is like the best
Committed.
time. This is the best time in life to be a DC fan, other than when I was growing up, because holy crap, we actually have like potential with stuff and like the different people that are getting casted for things. I'm like so excited. Like Jason Momoa is getting casted as Lobo, who's like this bounty hunter who is like super charismatic and literally with Jason Momoa was like made to play the role.
What
And
happens when he meets Aquaman? Are they going to
well,
be like,
no, they're recasting Aquaman. Ah!
this is glitching?
Yeah,
I kept thinking they'd do that with
like Project Almanac.
Project
Chris
Almanac.
Evans. Cinematic masterpiece. This is cinema. Poor Henry Cavill had to pass on that because he couldn't look like a high schooler. or something.
There's also rumors that because James Gunn said that he's really wanting to have Henry Cavill in the DC universe, and a lot of people are saying that because in Batman World's Finest, Batman and Superman look similar. So there's rumors that maybe Henry Cavill would play Batman, which would kind of be sick.
I think he could do the acting chops of Batman. I could see that.
Because literally he essentially played Superman as if he was Batman. Man
Yeah,
of Steel was
that
literally a
yeah,
Batman movie in a Superman skin. I was like, this
yeah,
is not Superman.
yeah. That's totally fair. I could see that.
Plus, it's like he's got the build and the body and the face. Like,
Yeah, and he could play a Bruce Wayne pretty well, I think.
yeah.
But
Better than
Cameron,
he
he
could do
needs to
Clark
read
Kent.
that script first.
I don't know, but I have
Dude,
to.
a lot of people are also requesting for Jake Gyllenhaal to play to play Batman. I'm like, I could see him as an amazing. A lot of people are saying he would be way better as a villain. Dude, if he played a villain in like the
Yeah,
Riddler or something, dude, I think he would be so good.
I hope we get a Ryan Gosling Spider what was it? The Miles Morales. So did you see that? They took a poll. They had like Jaden
Oh
Smith,
yeah,
like
yeah,
all these
yeah.
black actors, and then they had Ryan
Ryan
Go
Gosling.
Gosling playing
Ryan
Miles
Gosling, and everybody voted
Yeah.
for Ryan Gosling.
That's so
I
funny.
saw another one that was
That's
kind of like that, where it was like, who should play the next Wonder Woman or whatever, and I'm pretty sure Ryan
Arnold,
Reynolds got voted or something.
Ryan Reynolds. That's so funny, dude.
yeah.
Dude, I love the internet, man. It's just the best. It's like they're like they did the same thing for like, oh, give us a name. Like, okay, these are true internet things. Do you guys ever watch The Internet Historian?
Mm-mm.
Go find his YouTube channel. I'm gonna send you guys a video about real things that people did. Taylor Swift they said, okay,
Yeah,
I'm
4chan. Yeah.
yeah, she's like, I'm gonna perform and you guys send me the school in
And
which you
the
want me to perform.
4chan, which is like
They
a
sent her to the school of deaf kids.
yeah. The same they've done a bunch of things like that, Ty. Like 4chan also took
Taylor
over.
Swift to
Doritos did
perform at a school for deaf children is the funniest troll of all time.
Hi,
Oh,
Doritos did whatever gets the highest votes will be our new slogan, and the number one vote or number one thing by like 14 million votes was Hitler did nothing wrong. And then the next one was like it's nacho cheese. It's just like, and then they also took over a thing where it was what will oh, what was it? Oh yeah, it was Time Magazine did an online poll of who should be the next man of the year, and Kim Jong Un won by like a landslide. So then they took down the poll and
that
just
is
did
so
Barack
funny,
Obama.
Dude,
dude.
internet trolls are
Oh,
sometimes,
dude,
Yeah,
sometimes they
they're
get it, man.
monsters.
I love it.
yeah.
That is so funny.
But but yeah, and then me and Ali are considering maybe going to see either the new F1 or Jurassic World movie just like on $5 Tuesday. They the F1 movie actually has decent reviews.
It looks good. I want to see it. I've heard they
It kind of
did
looks like a
one.
Ford versus Ferrari, which I'm like I
It
enjoyed
is.
that
I
and
think it's
it
directed
was
by the
fun.
same guy, isn't it? Isn't it Mangold or not? I think it's Mangold, isn't it? Or not?
I think one of my buddies who recommended what's the one Jordan the video game driving one that I recommended to you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the Gran Torino.
Gran Torino. He watched it and he was like, Gran Torino blows us out of the water. But um,
Oh,
Oh, I
interesting.
thought you were talking about Neil Blomkamp's movie.
no, not
Not
Gran Torino.
yeah,
Yeah,
Tyre.
Gran
That's
Turismo.
Gran Turismo,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. No, no, I meant that movie, but I said the wrong title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
said the Clint Eastwood movie.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
I guarantee not. Yeah, I meant Gran Torino. Sorry.
Yeah,
No, so
he
real
just
quick, yeah,
no go.
I was gonna say he did direct Top Gun Maverick. That was the other movie. So F1 was directed by he did Top Gun Maverick. So
Okay.
I knew it was like a quote unquote
but
sport
that
movie.
wasn't
I couldn't.
Mangold though, right?
No, and Mangold,
Yeah.
he just
He did
recently
the new
did
Indiana Jones,
yeah, he just did Indiana Jones, but he did
Ford versus
the
Ferrari.
yeah, Ford vs. Ferrari. But anyway, I but very similar in that same vein of like, is this movie? But yeah, again, Top Gun Maverick also. This feels like the Top Gun Maverick for cars, you know. But it looks good. And
Yeah.
one thing, my friend went and saw it. He apparently there's several theaters that are doing like uh I don't know what they call it, like
4D.
hazmat chairs. They like swivel with the movie.
4D.
I'm like kind of like 4D, but the chairs will swivel and your scope of the movie will change with the I'm like, That would have been pretty cool to do like a 4D
Called
experience
4D.
like with this and as well as like with Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
I watched Top Gun Maverick on a turbulent flight and it made that movie very fun.
That's funny.
I was
You know,
literally
But
bouncing around in my
Ty,
seat.
you got to tell us what you've
Really
seen
fun.
lately. I want to hear what
Dude,
you've
I
seen.
watched Tire season 2. You guys need to watch it. So
oh, I
funny.
didn't know they have a season two. I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I
Shane
like
Gillis,
season
he
one. That's
just
funny.
has he hits my funny bone. He is so funny.
He is funny.
In this show, oh my gosh, there is when you see it,
Don't
Jordan, it's
spoil.
like I won't. There's a SpongeBob level scene of comedy that is so over the
Mm.
top that is so funny, and when you see it, you'll know it. It's just it literally had me like guffawing,
I
laughing
really
so
like
loud.
that poor couple in season one when they show up and just like, oh, fine, just do all the repairs, and then they take off as fast as possible so they don't have to pay anything. Oh my gosh, it's such white trash. It's
Oh,
so
dude, don't
good.
worry. There is some heartbreaking stuff in this season.
Sorry, don't say it. Don't say it. I
So
want to wait.
sad.
All right,
It's so sad because like it's so pathetic, dude. You
I'm
need to watch
excited. I'll watch it
Tires
and we'll
2
we'll talk
season.
about it. Yeah,
Yeah, Tire season 2 is
next
great.
episode.
All episodes are out. I
I will
think they did
definitely be
12
watching that.
episodes. So and there's some great actors that they got in this second season too. Because obviously the budget, they got more of a budget. They brought in some other actors. I'm like, that was a good addition and genuinely some funny
Just a
twists and turns.
cameo, or are they like
No, no,
the whole
like they're
seasons?
one
Oh,
of them you'll see and you're like, oh, like he's now gonna play a big role in the show.
oh,
So
cool. Okay.
yeah, definitely worth watching.
I'm just so glad that honestly, like especially comedians seem to still dip their toes into areas that it's like, whoa, cancel. But like, I'm surprised they're at least season one. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised they went there, and
Well,
that's
so
makes it
keep in
so
mind, Shane
refreshing.
Gillis, if you know about his history, he was a writer for SNL and got kicked off because someone went through his podcast and found something edgy that he
Oh, of
said,
course.
and he got fired. But it probably was the best thing that ever happened to him because then he went, started doing some stand-up comedy, and then he did Beautiful Dogs, which was the one of the biggest Netflix stand-up specials like ever.
Mm.
And now he was just hosting what was it called, Cameron? The TL something?
The ESPYs.
SPs, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
he hosted that, knocked it out of the park. Hilarious. My favorite joke is he said about who's the white chick that's playing basketball that everyone cares about? I don't even follow
Caitlin
W.
Clark.
Thank you. He's like, Caitlin Clark, when she retires from the WNBA, he's like, she's gonna go working at a Waffle House, doing what she loves, getting into fights with black women. Just fighting black women is what he said. But oh my fetching gosh, it made me laugh so hard. Like, oh,
So
Caitlin
silly.
Clark, so funny. And then each year, like,
He
yeah.
does a great Trump impression. He's
Oh
funny.
my gosh,
He
yeah,
does.
and the funniest Trump impression for sure. But yeah, Tires 2 is great, so I highly
Okay.
recommend it. So I watched all that, and then as far as movies, I also saw uh I saw the Final Destination Bloodlines, and it might be my movie recommendation for next week. If you would watch it, Cameron, I think you'd enjoy it. Have you seen
It's
it yet, Jordan?
Cameron liked the first one, so I think he'll like
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
so
it's.
What?
I
No,
don't want to
Jordan.
get hopes
I
up.
watched one in what, 6 or 7?
Did we watch another one?
Yeah. I'm gonna see.
I
I've
don't
watched
think so.
I think all of them, but I think I didn't finish 3.
I don't think so, Cameron. I might have shown you like the car accident from the second movie. Did I show you that?
You definitely showed me that.
Oh,
That
dude,
Okay.
everyone's seen that, dude. Those
outrageous.
logs, man. Oh my gosh. Dude, freaking logs. I've never been so afraid of
Yeah, I don't think
freaking
we've
tree
watched another
trunks.
one. You might be confusing Spiral, a piece of trash.
Yeah, yeah. Don't confuse those, Cameron. Yeah.
I do
So,
take Cameron to like sometimes a series in a long trip. Like I
yeah,
showed him the Alien Romulus. So
sure.
and then I took him to 28 years. So
I've seen like like the first, I think, third of Alien, and then you were like, I can tell you're not enjoying this. Let's watch something else. And then I was like,
Dude,
What?"
Alien's so
maybe
good,
I
man.
don't
Okay.
remember.
So I would say we watch that for next week, and I'll hold off on my review for now, but I definitely think it's worth seeing, and I want to talk about it because I won't spoil it as far as tone, but it was felt very different from the other ones, but it didn't.
Was there a bathroom scene where it went?
Uh, so I have you seen it yet, Jordan, or not?
Oh yeah, I
There is
watched it
one
the
death,
day I bought it.
Cameron,
Yeah,
that is
where's
laugh
it?
out loud funny, like Looney Tunes funny.
Oh, it's Looney. It is Looney
Yeah,
Tunes. It is
it's Looney
so
Tunes. It just
silly.
is
They lean
funny.
so hard into it. I'm like,
Yeah,
yes, thank
yeah.
you.
Yes,
They
exactly.
finally figured out the tone of it. It's like it's just
Yeah,
completely stupid.
which
I
which
love it.
surprisingly worked, and I'm amazed. But like I said, I still think one is my favorite,
Hmm.
but
Oh
this
yeah, yeah,
one is an easy second. Easy. Because I've seen all the other, I'm like, this by far takes the cake as far as my second favorite.
yeah. This is
But
probably second.
I like it feels different enough from the first that tone I enjoyed it. And I don't know if it's recency bias, but like I said, I was pleasantly surprised with it and I very much enjoyed it. And RIP the awesome Candyman. I can't remember his name off the
Oh
top of my head.
yes, I know. I'm so
He
sad.
passed away. He's a big part of the movie franchise, and so I thought that was a very touching. And but obviously, after watching the Final Destination movie, I'm like, how did he die? I'm like worried he like got killed in some horrific thing. I'm like, oh, he probably just had like a heart attack and passed away. But anyway, like an actor from a Final Destination movie passes away. I'm like, was he killed by death in some convoluted way? Rube Goldberg
He
project?
looked honestly deathly ill. He might have had cancer or something
Probably. But anyway, RIP, man. I'll
because
think.
he
Oh,
looked like crazy skinny.
yeah.
Like
When we do the review, I'll
look
make sure
into
I
it.
have his name and prepare it. But I just couldn't think it off the top of my head. But I heard he passed away, which is
He did, yeah.
a shame. But and then I think that's everything I've watched. Jordan, how about you? What do you watch?
Best
Uh,
thing, Jordan. Best thing. Don't tell us to look at your
al-
If you
letterbox.
tell me, so
also,
help me.
Final Destination. I'm excited to talk about it next week.
Let's do that. Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically it.
Anything else good besides that?
I just had one question, Cameron. So I just curious because maybe you already said this. I know you already talked about watching The Edge, but I just I just need to know why. Because I when I saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this has like a super nerd, and then
I
he's
gave it a
like,
7 out of 10, and Jordan's losing his mind.
well,
Why?
no, because usually like it has everything you like. It's like a super genius. Because I rewatched. I mean, I watched The Accountant 2 finally, or Accountant Squared, and like I was thinking like,
Cube two
oh,
hypercube.
it's no, but he's a nerd and he's like I'm
Accountant,
figuring out everything
hyper
and I'm
accountant.
like this
Sorry.
is oh, Cameron's geeking out about this. He likes super awkward people that have a hard time in society because they're so genius, so smart. And I'm like, "Oh,
Because
It's
that's
not.
totally me, right? I'm so genius.
no, well, but you love those
I see
types of
myself
people.
in this.
Like you love that. What was the movie you tried to watch with the
Do-
family?
He loves Donnie Darko.
Huh?
He loves
No,
Good Will Hunting. He loves Donnie
um
Darko.
yeah, Good Will Hunting. Thank you. Donnie
Yep.
Darko. Just people that are like so far beyond this
Wicked
world or
Smart.
whatever.
I do find him really interesting.
But
Um,
that
no,
had him. He was it.
I
He's
know, and he was interesting. That's I think is so fun. I just think like the
well, and
entire
the ending had like this subtle like, is he really like
A
it,
genius?
no
Or is he a moron?
no like he remember he was like had this moment where he's like my friends and you're like oh my gosh like and it has all this discussion to afterwards but right away you flip open your phone and you're just like and I'm like this just seems like the type of movie that you would go oh my gosh like and want to talk about it afterwards like you do about this Aftersun like oh did you see all the little details but instead you're just like that's all right. I'm just
Which
like
movie is this?
it
Sorry,
has
I even missed the
everything you
movie.
this is
So
like.
the Edge with
I don't
Anthony
understand
Hopkins and
you.
uh the dude from Make Sure That You're Married so people don't know you're gay or so people know you're not gay from The Departed.
No, the guy who shot the girl on set. Is that who you're talking about?
Yes, that's what I'm
oh,
talking about.
Alec Baldwin?
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Um no, see that's what's funny is I enjoy see I gave it a 7 out of 10.
But for you, that's low because you like when you rate things, you're always like 4 and 5. So you're like a nerd for
Not
movies.
always 4 or 5. The most consistent rating I give out is a 3 star.
I don't believe that. Let me see your
I could believe
lies.
that.
Complete
Mine, it's
lies.
definitely four. I know I give out the most 4 stars of anyone.
No, you give out Cameron. You give out the most fours. Look at your thing. I'm looking at your letterbox right
Four
now.
is so
You
easy.
have
It's like if you like it
204.
and you'll watch it
And
again, it's a
you
four.
4.5 is 204.
Yeah, because
Both of those.
majority of the ones that I've watched recently are good ones.
But that's what I'm
And
saying. You said
my
three and a
top
half.
200, my top 200 are ranked, Jordan. Of course that is
Just
gonna
having
be
you two
skewed
guys
that way.
argue about your letterbox reviews is
Look at
just
I'll
so
look on
funny.
That's
look
why
at
I'm
my IMDb that
confused.
has over 2,000 reviews. Let's look right now.
You guys need help, dude.
I'm so confused, Cameron. I don't use IMDb anymore, so you don't talk to me about that.
You
Yeah,
don't use it
dude.
at all?
No, because they deleted my account because I linked it to Facebook and then they are like, hey, we're no longer associated with Facebook. You're gonna need to create a new password, a new thing. And I tried to do it and I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, oh, I'll just leave it. Maybe it'll be okay. And then one day it updated and now I just lost everything. So I had a chance and I tried to figure it out, couldn't. And now I'm like, I'm just gonna stick with Letterbox. So
That's actually
Letterbox
super
is the future,
tragic.
man.
yeah, it's
See,
okay.
look at on IMDb, I've given out 48 10 out of 10s, 227 9, 354 um 8. Yeah. And then 287 and then
See, look, it dropped, right? 280 because you said three
yes,
something. I told you eights. Eights is your biggest number. That's why I don't understand. It has everything you love in a movie.
it does I also just thought the performances were just okay. I also thought
Uh,
I thought the bear was kind of cheesy. Like
it was a real bear. See, this
I
is what I don't understand. You think CGI looks more real than real bears. I
But that's what
don't.
I'm saying. Because it's real, they can't do more realistic action.
You think the
No,
Revenant looks
because
more real because it's a
listen.
CGI
Because
bear?
it's a real bear, they can't actually get close and interact like you
They
normally.
do get close though. Oh my gosh.
But that's what I'm saying is that is one of the things about like
Uh,
when you do it real is like it sometimes can look less real because you can't act like you normally would because of actual like um restrictions like of being
and
human.
I get what you're saying because every time there's like a certain vibe to a film, I'm like, this is this already is like knocked down a point for Cameron, like half a star because it looks in your mind fake. I've literally watched Heat with Dad, and I was remembering the scene where he gets on a helicopter, and you're like, that looks so fake, and it was a real helicopter. I was like, how is this fake? This is real. It just blows my mind. I have like a hard time wrapping my head around when you think things look fake and they're actually real.
I'm with you, Cameron, though. Sometimes you see like a real shark or a real animal, and I'm like, shark looks fake. And you're like, you're at an aquarium.
Yeah.
I'm like, shark still looks fake. Probably the same shark they used in Jaws.
Well, Jordan, you also have to understand I am a child who grew up on Attack of the Clones. I did not grow up on Star Wars 4, 5, and 6.
That
I
is a
grew up
really good point.
I grew up on
Those
1, 2, 3 and on animated cartoons. So that's why to me that will always naturally like look more real in my brain than the practical effects that give me trauma as a child that you're like, oh, the practical is so good. I'm like, that scarred me as a child.
uh
Like
that
everything that has practical, like I don't know a single movie that has like really good practical effects that's in my top 200. Do you?
it's Predator. It used to be. Did it fall out?
Predator, the first one's never been in my top 200. It's
I
it's like
thought
What
I
it's
about
thought
like an
at
8
one
out of
point it
10.
the
was.
Thing, Cameron? Did you enjoy that one or not?
See, 8 out of 10, and it's not even in your top 200. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
why isn't this
oh,
movie in your?
sorry.
Because
Why isn't it?
if dude, what's it called? I've said I've given over 200. Let me see how many I've
That's
given.
why I said a 3.5 stars is
I've
low for you.
I've given 275, 9, and 10. So that's what I'm saying. So just because it's not in my doesn't end up in my top 200 doesn't mean that I didn't like it. If this is coming from the person who's like, I didn't hate it, I only gave it a half
Yeah,
star.
but I'm consistent.
I didn't hate
That's
it
just
either.
You're so
I gave
crazy.
it a half
You
star.
you only give out 3 ratings. Jordan either gives out 5 stars to some like blood and gory stuff, and or 3 stars to where he was like, yeah, it was fine, or it's like 1.5 star. There are no other ratings in Jordan's letterbox. It's actually unreal.
there's a few, but they're just like very few.
Is there a few Jordan? Yeah, like let me look at yours.
Well, it's
Look,
I'm
look at
glad.
this. Look at this. 103 5 stars, 287 3 stars, 223 half star. How have you even watched that many half star
Yeah,
films?
why would you watch this,
And
man?
then 141 stars.
That's crazy.
That dude, that's almost what is that?
Yeah, I have like
Almost
one half star
400
rating, I think.
movies that you would rate a 2 or below.
Well,
That's
yeah,
insane.
those are all those Bruce Willis movies I bought because I'm like, oh, I'm collecting them all. And then I started watching them and I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Because he was dishing out like 11 movies a year. A year. That's not one movie a year. That's 11. How is that? He shows up, collects a paycheck, and he goes home. It's
Yeah,
literally a
it's
business.
But
because he's
like
what's it called now?
you knew this going into it.
I know, but I just
Jordan's
because
like,
I love
maybe
Bruce Willis so
maybe
much,
he's still the
I
lead.
just
It's like, Jordan, the reason
Ty,
he
but
did this
he's
is
in
because
my
his
top
mind was
10.
going.
He's in my top 10 favorite actors, so I'm like, well, I have to watch all his movies.
Jordan's just trying to keep up with me and Jake
Mistake.
Gyllenhaal.
I know. Like I'm trying to
That's
do
so
because that's
funny.
like if I love an actor, I'm gonna watch his work.
I
And
love
then
Gary Oldman. I still haven't seen everything he's in. So
I know, but I can't keep up with like Nicolas Cage. He puts out too many movies a year.
What's garbage?
you're like, oh, I love it so much. I can't keep up with all of his wacky shenanigans. That's so funny. Yeah, you should get an actor like Daniel Day-Lewis who only does a movie like once every 3 years or something like that.
Ty, you still have to watch Hard Boiled. I know I keep bugging you about it,
Oh,
but
I do want to see that.
just skip the first hour.
You should
I'm just
put
kidding.
It Feeds on your list, or and it kind of reminded me of
Hmm.
Cobwebs a little bit.
I did see one on your list because I'm glad you made one for your favorites of the year. I added Ex Huma or whatever it's
Oh, Exuma. Oh my gosh,
Exuma.
Exuma
Sorry,
was so good. That's
I'm
kind of
so
like The
excited.
Wailing. It's like The
Yeah, don't
Wailing meets
spoil it.
no, yeah, it's The Wailing meets
I'm
Hereditary.
I'm really
So
excited.
good, dude.
When I saw your and
It's
I
one of
saw
those
how
yeah.
the review. Sorry, what?
Yeah, it's The Wailing meets Hereditary. It's crazy, dude.
I'll add it. It feeds to my list.
Definitely don't put that on your list, Cameron. Exuma is like one of those movies I'm like, stay away.
I shall not.
Yeah. As in partake or not, stay away.
I shall not add it to my list. Don't
Okay,
worry.
there you go. There you go. Yeah. You're not missing out on much, dude. It's just a foreign film and they know how to make movies. My gosh.
Yeah, they do. My goodness. Yeah, because I'm that's what I'm looking forward to. So
So we'll wrap up this podcast. You guys leave us an email if you true. What is that?
The half stars that Jordan's watching.
All right, guys. Leave us an email at Futro. Oh,
that
I haven't
director
checked the
actually
email.
has a lot of good movies, though. By
Quick,
the way,
quick question. We should
he
be honest, Jordan. Have you been checking the emails?
uh yeah.
Okay.
Nobody emails us, and Cassie's the only one that Cassie's the only one that.
No, no,
Okay, that
listeners. What we
that
mean is nobody of substantial importance emails us. We love you, listeners, and if you decide to
no,
email
nobody
us at
does. I'm not.
futuremovies@gmail.com.
I would tell you if they sent me something, unless I didn't see it. I don't know.
No, no, listeners, we've been doing this for a long time. We have many adoring fans. It's hard to even go out without being recognized.
No,
So
nobody sent
please, we ask
anything.
for your patience. Anyway, listeners, we love you. Leave a comment. That's right. We love you. We love you as much as Aftersun. So some of us love you and some of us hate you. 1 star. Anyway, everybody have
I
a
didn't
great
give it
week.
one.
Next week, maybe we'll be talking Final Destination Bloodlines. Stay safe until then. Peace and blessings, y'all. Peace.
Bye. Peace.
Oh, and last thing, they had the movie After Sun, but didn't play any song by Silver Sun Pickups. I don't know why. I was just waiting for Silver Sun to play in the movie After Sun. They had Queen for Pete's sake, Under Pressure, which was another good song choice. All right, bye.